Hi, my name is Omi Meseded. My student ID is 22126. This is a presentation overview of Notion SRS from the perspective of an end user. The stakeholder I'm focusing on is the end user. End users use Notion for organizing personal, work, or school tasks. They need the system to be easy to use, support real-time collaboration, and help them stay productive. Their main concerns are reliability, speed, permissions, and syncing. The first model I'm discussing is the stakeholder model. End users are placed in the primary stakeholder ring, which means their needs directly influence how the system is designed. The model also shows how end users interact with developers, testers, and others involved in building the system. Because end users are at the center of the system, their feedback shapes important areas like system behavior, permissions, collaboration features, and overall UI design. This model shows clearly that Notion's core functions exist to serve the end user's experience. The second model I'm discussing is UML use case diagram. The most relevant use cases for the end users are use case number one, which is create and edit documents. Use case number two, collaborate in a shared workspace. And use case number three, manage access and permissions. This model is useful because it shows how end users interact with the system every day. It includes actions like editing pages, syncing changes, joining shared workspaces, and working in real time with others. It also shows that some features like collaborations depend on permissions being set correctly. So the functional requirements. In functional requirement 01, Notion allows users to create and edit pages. Edits are auto-saved every 3 seconds. Offline edits are stored until connection returns, and the system checks permissions before allowing changes. Version history is also available to prevent any type of data loss. Functional requirement number two. The system supports real-time collaboration. Multiple people can edit at the same time and everyone sees changes instantly. Permissions can be adjusted by the workspace managers, and even if someone loses connections, their changes will be synced once that connection is restored. The system also shows errors if users try to access something they're not allowed to see. Functional requirements number three covers integration. Users can connect Notion with tools like Google Drive or GitHub. The system warns about security or integration conflicts and allows users to remove integrations whenever they want. Non so some non-functional requirements are also very important for end users. For usability, at least 80% of new users should be able to complete 5 basic tasks within 10 minutes. This makes Notion quick to learn and easy to use. For performance, 90% of pages should load in under 500 milliseconds, which keeps editing fast and smooth. Reliability is also essential. The system should be available 99.9% of the time, so users are not disrupted. In terms of security, login uses MFA. Data is strongly encrypted and regular checks are made to make sure the system stays secure. My strengths in this project included contributing to the stakeholder analysis and correcting the onion model to make it clearer. I also improved the use case diagram and made sure our requirements linked properly to user needs. A few weaknesses that I found was I found making the use case diagrams difficult at first, and I needed more time to understand. I also could have managed my time better, and some of my diagrams needed extra corrections after feedback. The most difficult part of the project for me was creating the models, especially the use case diagram and the onion model, because they are complex to understand and structure. To overcome this, I reviewed my lecture notes, checked the model matched our functional requirements, and double checked with my group to make sure everything lined up. The most useful part of this project was learning how functional and non-functional requirements work together. I also found it very helpful to understand how diagrams support system design. Working with my group improves my communication and explanation skills. What would I do differently in the future? If I were doing this project again, I would start the diagrams much earlier and set regular check-ins so everyone's work is aligned. I would also make better use of my lecturer's notes from the beginning since they were very useful in terms of the models. Finally, I would focus on keeping everything consistent throughout the project. Thank you for listening. All resources used in this presentation come from our group's SRS document.